Welcome to Safe and Sound, a monthly podcast on cybersecurity, presented by GrandPad and the Layton Podcast Network.
Welcome to Safe and Sound, the podcast that helps older adults stay informed, confident, and protected in today's digital world. I'm Sarah Wilchin, Director of Member Experience at GrandPad, and today's topic is social media scams. And the message is simple. A scam does not always start with a suspicious phone call or a strange email. Sometimes it starts with a friendly message or a familiar-looking ad or a post that seems too good to pass up. The Federal Trade Commission reported that scammers reach out to people in many different ways, including phone calls, texts, and emails. But the reports from the Federal Trade Commission reported that scammers reach out to people in many different ways, including phone calls, texts, and emails. But reports from the FTC's Consumer Sentinel Network shows that social media has become one of the scammers' favorite places to reach people. In 2025, nearly 30% of people who reported losing money to a scam said it started on social media. Reported losses reached about 2.1 billion. That's with a B. That is far more losses reported than through any other contact method, and about 8 times more than was reported in 2020. In 2025, nearly 30% of people who reported losing money to a scam said it started on social media. Reported losses reached 2.1 billion. That's with a B. That is far more losses reported than through any other contact method, about 8 times more than was reported in 2020. And since most scams are never even reported to the government, that number is probably actually a lot higher. So today, that's why we're going to talk about social media and how those scams work, which scams are most common, and what older adults and families can do before they click or respond or share any information and send money. So joining me as always is Derek Barksdale, GrandPad's Director of Security and Privacy. Thanks for joining me again today, Derek.
Thanks, Sarah. I'm glad to be here. Social media can be a great way to stay connected with family, friends, and communities, but it also gives scammers a powerful way to reach people. They can create fake profiles, fake ads, and fake messages at very little cost. They can also reach thousands or even millions of people from almost anywhere in the world. As we discussed in our last episode about AI deepfakes, scammers are getting better at making things look and sound real. Social media makes that even easier because it gives them access to photos, personal details, and public posts that can help them create believable stories.
Yeah, that's such an important point. Social media is designed to feel personal. So you may see posts from family and community groups and favorite brands and people that seem friendly and trustworthy. And then they can make it hard to recognize when something just isn't quite right because of that familiarity piece.
Absolutely. Scammers know that. They understand how these emotions work with people. They do not always start by asking for money. Sometimes they start by building trust, building relationships. They may send a friendly message, comment on a post, offer help, or share an opportunity that feels exciting. The danger is that these scams often begin with emotions and they matriculate into something deeper. They may create hope, fear, urgency, or curiosity. Once someone is emotionally engaged, the scammer pushes them to act before they have time to verify.
That's such an important part, that getting emotionally engaged. Once you're hooked, it makes it hard to step away from it. So, Derek, let's talk about the most common scams people are seeing on social media. According to the FTC, shopping scams are one of the most reported types of social media scams. That was what was reported mostly in 2025. More than 40% of people who lost money to a scam on social media said it started when they ordered something that they saw in an ad. Could have been makeup or clothing, car parts, health products, home items, even animals and puppies and pets. And the ad may look really professional and the website looks real and the price may seem like a really great deal, but then the product never arrives, or what arrives isn't really what was promised.
That's right, Sarah. Shopping scams are very common because the ads can look familiar and polished. Scammers may impersonate well-known brands or create fake online stores that look legitimate. They often use big discounts to get people to act quickly. A helpful rule is this: slow down when the deal feels unusually good. Search for the company outside of the social media ad. Look for reviews from trusted resources. Make sure the website address is correct. And also be cautious if the only payment options are unusual, such as gift cards, wire transfers, cryptocurrency, or payment apps that do not offer buyer protection, I would be wary because you always want to protect yourself when you're shopping online.
Yeah, that's such a great tip. Slow down and search outside that ad versus just clicking on the links. Just kind of check the validity of that company and that offer. Another prevalent scam that we are hearing about more is investment scams. Investment scams cause the biggest reported financial losses from scams that started on social media. The FTC reported about 1.1 billion in losses to investments in 2025. That's more than half the total money reported lost to social media scams. And these scams, again, often start with an ad or a post or a message, and it looks really helpful, like they're trying to teach someone how to invest and trying to be helpful to set them up for success. Some scammers may even claim that they can help people learn how to get in a big return quickly, and others pretend to be a friendly advice person, somebody who's been successful in their investing, and so they want to share that advice with somebody else.
That's exactly right. Seniors should always be wary of new online friends, especially anyone offering to help with money. Scammers may encourage people to create an account, show fake profits, and sometimes even allow a small withdrawal to build trust. Once trust is established, they pressure the person to invest more. And I also say this with seniors. Seniors more than likely have retirement built up. So scammers go after these funds. The investments that they try to set up for these seniors are never real. Worse still, some people who lose money are targeted a second time by scammers who claim they can trace or recover the lost money for a fee. That is another scam on top of the investment scam. Scammers are going after those individuals who are vulnerable, who are lonely, and those who they feel will fall for them offering help when really it is to extort money from our seniors.
Wow, that's terrible. That they've already been targeted. It just feels especially cruel to retarget them. But you also had such a really good point in there of be wary of new online friends. It was just a one statement, but boy, that was powerful to just think about. Be wary of when somebody new friends you of if that's a real friendship or not. And again, just thinking about that cruelty of building those relationships. And if you're targeted once and then you think you're seeking help to only get hurt again.
Absolutely. And as a security professional, I'm always cautious about how much information I share online. The larger your digital footprint is, the easier it can be for scammers to learn about you, your family, your interests, and even your routines. A while back, there were scams going around, not really scams, but exploitation of people posting their vacations online, where they are, what they're doing at the time, and scammers getting that information, identifying their address, and going to those address and robbing these families while they're on vacation. I liken this similarly to seniors. We got to be careful of what we expose online because scammers are targeting that information so that they can extort money from our seniors.
Yeah, that's a good point. Make sure you're just being a little cautious and kind of thinking twice about what all you put out there because you just don't know who all is taking in that information. Well, Derek, let's give our listeners some examples of what one of these scams might look like. What kind of stuff should they be on the lookout for? Can you give us some examples and things to keep an eye out for?
Sure. Here's one example. Someone may be looking for a job, a side income, or a business opportunity. A scammer posts an opportunity on social media that promises flexible hours and strong income. The post may include photos, testimonials, or comments from people who appear to be successful. Once someone clicks, they may be taken to a website that looks professional. The opportunity sounds exciting, but the next step asks for personal information or even a training fee or a payment to unlock access. That is what makes these scams so dangerous. They do not begin with logic, they begin with emotion. Scammers want people to react before they verify such sites.
That's a powerful way to say it. React before you verify. So again, good rule is making sure that just like you said before, pause, do some verification and some checking. So how would you guide older adults to respond when they do come across some of these opportunities, or what looks like an opportunity?
I always say seek a trusted second opinion on everything, especially when personal information or money is involved. Talk to a family member, a trusted friend, or someone in your circle of care before you click, sign up, or share information that may cause you to lose money. With my own personal situation, I always advise my own mother. If you feel unsure, call me. If it looks too easy to be true, call me. If somebody is offering you something for nothing, always call me. A second set of eyes can make a big difference in these situations.
That's just good practical advice right there. And this is why, just having community around you and leaning into that is, a powerful thing to do and a smart thing to do. And so, since some of these media scams can be so deceptive because they do look so real, what steps should you, or what do you advise for seniors and families to take to stay away, stay awake, stay vigilant, and be prepared?
There are a few important steps we can all take. First, limit who has access to you and your information on social media. The less you give scammers to work with, the better. Review your privacy settings and limit who can see your posts, photos, friend lists, and personal details. Second, never let a stranger on social media have access to your finances. A real financial advisor, company, or organization will not pressure you through social media to gain access to your finances. Third, never send money on the spot. Always validate the request. Again, emotions come into play, so you always want validation of what's being asked. Scammers often pressure people to send money by wire transfer, gift cards, or third-party payments. Those methods can be hard to trace, which is exactly why scammers use them. Take a breath, pause, talk to someone you trust. That gives you time and a second opinion before you make a decision. Report scams to the Federal Trade Commission also. You can visit reportfraud.ftc.gov to report fraudulent activity. This way, you're able to help others stay vigilant against these scammers. The site walks you through a short questionnaire so the FTC can collect information and investigate trends.
We are family. Sister Sledge. For people listening who might feel they're out of touch with family or family members because they're not connected, not wired, as they say, unable to share emails, correspond with kids, grandkids, nieces, and nephews, well, now they can be connected. You can be connected. The best part is it's easy to do. The solution is called GrandPad. GrandPad is a simple and secure tablet that connects you to your family and friends. No longer do you have to miss out on birthdays, graduations, weddings, other special occasions. Even everyday activities can all be shared on a GrandPad tablet. With GrandPad, you can view family photos and videos, play games, check on the weather, listen to your favorite music, send and receive emails, even voice emails, make outbound phone calls by just tapping a picture or a graphic on the screen. You don't have to take a computer course to do this. GrandPad's simple month-to-month, no-risk, no-contract membership includes everything you need to connect with your digital family. It comes with all the support that you need to stay in touch. Visit grandpad.net, just the way it sounds, grandpad.net. See how this simple device can be an incredibly powerful way to share all of life's little and big moments. See what a difference it can make in your life, the life of a parent or relative who would love to be in touch.
Welcome back to Safe and Sound. Derek, before the break, we were talking about how social media scams often use emotion, urgency, and trust. Can you walk us through another example of how a scam could play out, since there's so many variations that we're seeing on these social media sites?
Absolutely. The list goes on and on. Another common scam is the fake order or package problem scam. This works because it creates urgency, confusion, and a fear of losing money or a product. A person may receive a text, an email, social media message, or phone call that looks like it came from Amazon, UPS, FedEx, or another familiar company. The message might say your package delivery failed, or your account has been charged a certain amount of money, or click here to confirm your shipping information. The person may feel like they need to fix the problem immediately, so they react without validating, and the scammer begins its plight.
I've actually had some of these texts come in. So this one can be very tricky because it does look very real. It does make you think, gosh, did I order something? I better click on this because I want to get whatever product I got. So again, taking a time to just think about it for a second and verify before clicking can really be a powerful step to stay safe.
Exactly. Always take your time and verify. If you rush, scammers count on you rushing. Once someone clicks the link or calls the fake support number, the scam can move quickly. They may say they need to connect to your laptop or tablet. Once they communicate with you, they may ask for your social security number to confirm your identity. They may request a credit card number, bank information, or any other type personal information to get your information. They may even claim they accidentally refunded too much money and need you to send some back. So they try to walk you through sending them money from your validated accounts.
Wow, so many different ways that they are targeting people and preying on that emotional piece and kind of that urgency piece. What are some other warning signs that we can share with people to be watching for in these cases?
Sure. Watch for unexpected messages about orders or deliveries, especially if you were not expecting a package. Be careful with messages that say click immediately or act now. Be suspicious if customer support asks for remote access to your device. Be cautious if anyone asks for gift cards or payment through a payment app. Another warning sign is pressure. Scammers want you to feel rushed. A real company will not demand that you fix a delivery problem by giving them remote access to your computer or device or send money right away. They will always walk you through what's needed without impersonating a scammer. Let me say that again. Another warning sign is pressure. Scammers want you to feel rushed. A real company will not demand that you fix a delivery problem by giving remote access to your computer or sending money right away. They will always walk you through a validation process so that you are sure that this is a real company trying to help you.
Yeah, that's a great point that you're right. They're going to take you through the steps and walk you through it, and it's not going to have that do something now, we need this right away. And that's a great point to point out that if it feels rushed, that should be a warning sign. If it feels helpful, that you might still need to do some validation, but it's a more likely safe space to be in. Again, they're always trying to prey on that pressure and that emotional piece. So maybe we could just reiterate again what people should do instead when they start to feel that pressure.
Absolutely. Slow down, think, validate. Do not click the link in any message. Go directly to the retailer or delivery company's official website or app. Use the tracking number from your original order confirmation if you placed an order, not a tracking number from a random message. Another good rule is this: do not let the message lead you. Go back to the source. Always validate the information that you are receiving. And nothing hurts if you hang the phone up, disconnect from any customer support user, and call the company back directly. These things give you time to process and validate if this is a legitimate request.
Yeah, exactly. I like that, Derek. Do not let the message lead you. Go back to the source. That's just a really great way to say that and to, again, slow down and think that through. Don't let the message lead you. Go back to the source.
Exactly. Scammers want to create urgency. They want to speed you up so that you miss the details. Your best defense is to slow down, verify, and ask someone you trust before sharing information or sending money.
Yeah, this is where those family conversations come in and can be such, so helpful. A loved one can say, let's just check your account directly, or let's call the company using their official website. Kind of like what you talked about before with your mom, like, hey, just call me. Let's walk through this together. I think sometimes people don't want to bother somebody or they might be embarrassed, but it's important to use the community that you have. That kind of support can stop a scam before it ever gets started and information or money is lost.
That's correct. This is why a trusted circle is so important. Nobody should feel embarrassed to ask for help. Sometimes technology can be tricky, so scammers like to use things that people may be unaware of. Scams are designed to fool people. So asking for a second opinion is not a weakness, it's a strength. It protects your information and your money. It is one of the strongest protections we have.
I like that. That's a great reframing of like it's a strength. It's not a weakness. It's being strong enough to use the community around you and to lean into that because we all want to help each other. And that ties directly into what we believe at GrandPad, that technology should help people stay connected and supported and confident. And that's why GrandPad was designed with seniors in mind, including simple navigation, built-in LTE, easy access to loved ones, and support that's just a tap away. And again, that closed network so that we can keep some of these bad guys out. The goal of is to make technology feel safe and useful and fun and not stressful. We wanted to make happy connections and have fun and safe time doing that.
That's right, Sarah. Safety is not only about blocking scams, it's also about helping people feel comfortable asking questions, checking information, and staying connected with people they trust. That's why I love GrandPad, because we go out of our way to make people comfortable with the technology so that they use it in the appropriate way.
Yeah, exactly. It's such a great mission that we have here so that we can continue to get more people connected. But Derek, let's say somebody's listening and they've listened to what we're talking about and they might be going, "Oh, shoot, I might have clicked a link or I might have shared some information I shouldn't have." What should they do? What should their next first step be?
So first, I would say stop communicating with the person or account that you have sent information to. Do not respond to more messages and do not send any money. Second, contact your bank, credit card company, or payment provider right away if money is involved. The faster you act, the better chance you may have of stopping a transaction or protecting your accounts. Third, change all your passwords. If you've shared logon information or clicked a suspicious link, use a strong, unique password for each of your accounts. Fourth, report the scam again to reportfraud.ftc.gov.
Yeah, and I think that's such an important one is reporting it. I think that we often see kind of some shame or embarrassment or something around that they fell for it. And the reality is these scammers are very, very clever and it could happen to anyone anytime. And so I think helping everybody feel empowered and knowing it's a strength to report them because it might stop them from targeting somebody else is an important part of that because I think that embarrassment piece does play into things from time to time. What about shame or embarrassment or kind of a reluctance to report it? What about that piece of it?
Sarah, I think that's very common, but it is important to remember that scammers are professionals. They've rehearsed scripts and these lines over and over again. They use pressure and emotional manipulation. Anyone can be targeted. Telling someone quickly can help limit the damage. A family member, trusted friend, caregiver, bank representative, or support team can help you take the next steps. So never feel ashamed or embarrassed about seeking help because it could lead to protecting your information and your money in the long run.
Yeah, that's such an important message. You're not alone, and asking for help is the right thing to do.
Absolutely. The sooner someone speaks up, the more options you may have to protect your information.
Derek, this has been such amazing and helpful information, but let's maybe boil it down a little bit and let's leave our listeners with three rules, three simple rules that they can follow and take away from this today.
Sure. Rule number one, do not share personal or financial information with someone you only know through social media. Rule number two, get a second opinion before you click, invest, or respond to an urgent request. And rule number 3, never send money without verifying the request through a trusted resource.
Those are simple, strong reminders. Do not share, get a second opinion, verify before sending money.
Exactly. Social media can be a great tool for connection, but it is important to use it carefully. When something feels urgent, exciting, or frightening, pause. That pause can protect you.
Yep, confidence and caution go hand in hand. When something feels off, take a breath, reach out to your network. You're never alone in this. And the education of all of this is one of our strongest defenses. Thanks so much for joining us today on Safe and Sound. If this episode helped you, please share it with someone that you care about. One simple conversation can prevent a costly scam. And if you're a GrandPad user, remember, we're always here to help. Our support team is just a tap away. Thanks for listening. To learn more, you can visit grandpad.net. And until next time, stay safe, stay connected, and live grand.
Safe and Sound is a monthly podcast presented by GrandPad and the Layton Podcast Network. Find this and other podcasts on demand at WinonaRadio.com.